Steam is easily the greatest DRM available on PC. It's not intrusive, it doesn't force us to be online, there's so much freedom to Steam, but there are pitfalls to everything. So let's talk about the pitfalls to Steam. I'm gonna start this list by least sucky to suckiest, so if the first few seem a bit nitpicky, they are. Starting off, we have the Steam Workshop. Now the Steam Workshop's amazing. What in the world could be the downfall to this? Well, the issue is that, at least for me, when I first got into modding my games, I used the Steam Workshop a lot. Why wouldn't I? Everything is much easier, and every time a mod I wanted wasn't on the workshop, I just didn't worry about it, because Steam made it very easy to mod. The thing is, this put me off modding my games for a long time because I didn't want to learn how to do it manually. Now you could always download a mod manager, right? Well, yes, but realistically, us lazy people tend to stick to what we know. With the summer sale going on as it is right now, I tend to think back to previous Steam sales and thinking exactly how I was going to plan out my sale. Recently, Steam doesn't have the kinds of sales that they did a few years ago. Now you may be thinking, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Nothing is missing here. The Steam sales are still just as amazing as they once were. Well, let me tell you how I used to go about my Steam sales. Step 1, I'd go through my wishlist and rank every game based on how badly I wanted to buy it. This was carefully planned out by number of hours the game had to offer, the performance of the games based on reviews, and unique mechanics that may or may not have been implemented. Next, I waited for flash sales to reveal one of those games on my wishlist, and any game on my wishlist, regardless of the rank, would be picked up if it were on a flash sale. Then, at the end of the sale, I would purchase 1 or 2 games that never went onto a deep sale, just so I got the best of both worlds as well as budgeted my money well. Recently, there have not been flash sales, so I have just had to pick 1 or 2 games that have gone on sale and hope that I like them when I play them. This kinda sucks, and I miss those deep flash sale opportunities. Another thing that kinda sucks is the Steam leveling up system. Now this, to an extent, is kinda cool. The more games you buy, the more badges you craft, the more items you sell, your Steam level goes up. But the issue is that things are locked behind this. Like, how many friends you're able to have. This is idiotic. Now don't get me wrong, the average person will not need the amount of friend slots that are initially allotted you, which is okay, but for YouTubers, streamers, and any popular internet personality that enjoys a bit of gaming and talking to their community through Steam, this really sucks. Now I gotta say that I love what a lot of you guys have been doing to help me with this issue. I said a while ago that if you guys had any spare cards that you could donate in order to help me level up, add more friend slots for future viewers, that'd be great. And not only have you guys given me leftover cards, some of you have bought me full packs as to ensure that I level up. And this is selfless, and I just couldn't leave it out of this video. To contribute to something that doesn't benefit you, all it does is allow me to add more friends on Steam, and this is just great. So thank you to all of you who've done this. Seriously, this community is fantastic. But moving on. Trading cards. Now these are really cool. You can earn them in games just by playing them. You can trade them with your friends and level up. You can sell them on the market and purchase them from other users. But then you think, why in the world do these exist again? Oh yeah, they're part of that wall that blocks us from adding as many friends on Steam as we wish. If Steam just lets us do this and didn't lock anything away, the cards would be way better. I don't mind leveling up for the sake of showing off. It's fine. Stop placing obstacles in my way. That's such a Sony thing. Game streaming. No, I'm not talking about Steam Broadcast. That is actually halfway decent. I'm talking about streaming games from your beast of a PC to your puny little laptop. Now, why would you do this? Well, today I had my buddy over and I wanted to couch game. Yeah, PC gamers do that. So we set up my laptop in the living room, plugged some controllers into it, clicked on the game we wanted to play, and 2 problems. Firstly, if you have the game downloaded to your laptop, you're not allowed to stream it to your laptop. So after deleting the game, I finally was able to click the stream button, and it didn't work. Spent 2 hours changing the stream settings and never got it working, but, you know, split screen Lego Worlds is fun on my 4K monitor too. Here's one. So you get home from work, you sit down at your desk, you turn on your PC, you launch Steam, you go to the bathroom, you get yourself some lunch, watch a 3-hour soap opera, and finally Steam opens up. Mother of God, why does it take so long? And the thing is, this isn't all the time. Steam is that unpredictable teenager that sometimes had a good night's rest and sometimes needs 5 more minutes. And don't get me started on those weeks where you haven't opened it in a while. It has like a billion updates to go through and you're like, well, time to binge watch every season of House. So you're searching Steam and there's nothing interesting on the store page. Really, this happens a lot, and it's pretty much because so many games are flooded onto Steam all at once that they overlap each other. And you can't seem to find that new unique game. Everything is a AAA first-person shooter, but you want something brand new, something creative, something special. So you check Greenlight, and you realize you've made the wrong turn. I don't know what the heck to do about Greenlight, but the utter crap that gets posted there and the amount of it that actually makes it to the store is ridiculous. There are good titles every so often, but if you thought finding a real indie game of the year was a needle in the haystack on the store page, think again. I've talked about this one before, and I almost didn't add it to this list because really it's a pitfall to PC gaming in general, but I would figure a company like Valve would be forward-thinking enough to implement something like this, even on a small scale. And that is the ability to sell your games. Yeah, the argument's clear. Used games on console have wear, used games on Steam can't, because it's not a physical media. I understand, and I also understand that games do not technically belong to us. They're licensed to us, so let me just stop you right there. And don't get me wrong, I love anti-consumer business practices as much as the next guy, but what if we could sell our games? What if they could technically belong to us? Nothing wrong with being optimistic, and if any DRM were to do it, I'd see it being Steam. Valve is not the greatest company, and it has their faults, but they're certainly not the worst company by a long shot. And with that, they're very forward-thinking. Why shouldn't we have this, right? And I ask that not asking why we don't. I already know why we don't. I'm asking why shouldn't we. It's like asking why shouldn't I buy a console, not why don't I. And lastly, Valve's customer support. And you thought loading into Steam was a process. Steam support has been known to literally leave people hanging without reply for months. Months. And seriously, that's not an exaggeration. Valve has said in the past that they were working on ways to improve their customer support, and about a year and a half later, it's still pretty much just as bad. Did you guys know that Valve once had its own customer support number that you could call if you were having a serious problem with Steam? I actually had the pleasure of calling it once. No joke, I swear I'm not making this up. This is what happens when you call the number, and if you don't believe me, here's the number. You can try it for yourself. It speaks volumes about Steam's customer support.
Hello, and thank you for calling Valve. If you are calling from a touch-tone phone and know the extension of the person with whom you wish to speak, please enter it now. For questions regarding product support or Steam, please press 8. For all other inquiries or to reach our general voicemail box, please press 0. Steam does not offer phone support for any of our products. You can obtain support by visiting the support section at www.steampowered.com.